Hey friends, happy Wednesday. Um, Today I wanted to talk to you guys about why it's okay to sleep train your newborn and how you can do it. So a lot of people, they're like, can I train my newborn? Can I sleep train my newborn? If I do, how do I do it? Because I mean, it's a newborn baby, right? And I wanted to talk today about why you can train them and how to do it. Um, so sleep training your newborn is actually pretty gentle. It's pretty easy. The baby is still boss. So it's okay to sleep train your newborn because it sets them up for good sleep habits in the future. So that means that when time goes on, they already know what to expect with their sleep and they're okay with it. So, for example, my son, Gunnar, I had to sleep train him at like 5, 6 months. And that's at a time where they're still consolidating their sleep and it's still really up and down for them. They take a lot of cat naps. They're not really sleeping well at that time, and they're getting set in their ways, so they're getting used to um, being put to sleep a certain way, such as rocking to sleep, nursing to sleep, sleeping beside people. So I mean, when they're used to those things and it's been going on for 5 or 6 months, it's really hard to break them from that habit. So when you practice these good sleep habits from the get-go, it makes life way easier for everybody, including your baby and yourself. So I really, really do recommend sleep training newborns. But let's get into a little bit about what does that mean then? Like, how do I sleep train my newborn? Like, what does that look like? So when you're sleep training a newborn, it's a lot different than when you're sleep training an older child, or an older baby. Because you use such a very gentle method. Baby is still boss. Baby is still the one in charge here right now because they're still so new and they're still getting used to the outside world. So we don't want a lot of crying, and we don't want, them to feel any more uncomfortable than they already do being outside of the womb. So what I suggest to people is, and when I say newborn, just to clarify, that's 0 to 2 months old. Um, and then at 3 months old, you can really start to get more into the sleep training and for more firmer methods. But 0 to 2 months is the newborn stage, and it's a very gentle time. So the way that you can do this is you can, first of all, promote putting them down drowsy but awake. So when I say drowsy, I don't mean like fluttery eyed, like going like this, like I don't know if you can see my eyes, but they're fluttering. Um, that is the first stage of sleep. That's too late. You don't want to be putting them down in the first stage of sleep because then that means you assisted them to sleep, and that means that that beats the purpose. But that's with older babies. With newborns, it's a little bit different. You still do want to put them down drowsy but awake. So you want to be sure they're awake when you lay them down in their crib by themselves or bassinet or whatever you put them in. And this includes naps and nighttime sleep. So you want to make sure that they're awake for that. And it should be no question that they are awake. So you put them down awake and you let them like just figure it out. If they start fussing and crying, go to them and pick them up and put them to sleep however that works. I mean, usually it's all you have to do is hold them. And that's fine. That's fine. Because at this point, like I said, you want it to be gentle. You don't want it to be anything intense at this time. So yeah, put them down awake. If they are good with it and they go to sleep, perfect. That's exactly what we want. But if they start fussing and crying, it's okay to pick them up, comfort them, and get them to sleep however you want. It's the point that you are training them from the beginning to do that. And the more consistent you are, the more you do it, the more they'll get used to it. And eventually they'll be put in their crib or bassinet or whatever, awake, and they will be able to just go to sleep. Much harder to do when you have an older baby, and I can vouch for that. He did not like being put down awake. It took a lot of practice and consistency and patience on my part to get my son to finally be okay with me putting him in his crib, awake, away from me. It took a long time. So, well, it took a couple weeks, but that's another story for another day. So another aspect to this is for a baby this young, what you really want to be focusing on is you want to be focusing on their awake times. There is no set schedule for a newborn baby. It just doesn't work. Their sleep is too erratic. You cannot get a newborn baby on a schedule. It's just not possible. So what you do want to do is be on a awake time schedule kind of thing. You let them have their awake time, which from 1 month old is an hour, give or take half an hour. And then at 2 months old, it's 1.25 hours, give or take a half an hour. So that amount of awake time is enough for them. And then by that time, they should be getting a nap. By that, at this age, they should have 4+ naps. And they should be getting around 5 to 6 hours of daytime sleep, and the rest should be night sleep. They should be getting around 15 to 17 hours of total sleep, including night and day. So that's what you really want to focus on is their awake times, how many naps they're taking, etc. And how many naps they're taking, that can differ depending on the baby, but that is just a baseline for it. So that is basically all you want to do for a newborn baby. You just want to have their awake times as their schedule. You just want to make sure they're awake for the perfect amount of time, and then you're putting them to sleep in their own crib alone, awake but drowsy as in ready for sleep, but not in the first stage of sleep. And then you want to really be consistent with these things, and eventually when they get to 3 months old, you can eventually then go ahead and start with more of a sleep plan that's firmer. And yeah, and that's really all that you can really do. I mean, there's other aspects to it, but I don't want to make this video half an hour long. There's other aspects to things that you can do, because newborns do get day and night confusion. They get they're not used to being outside of the womb. They also there's a couple other things that I could talk about more, but like I said, it would be a long video if I did. So anyways, those are just my tips for training your newborn with sleep. It's, like I said, very gentle. Baby's still boss. You really just want to go with their awake times, and you want to make sure you're putting them down awake for every nap and sleep at night. If they fuss and they cry, pick them up. They're too young to be letting them cry and cry it out. I don't even do cry it out, but if you wanted to, that doesn't even start till 6 months old at the earliest. So yeah, there's my video for you guys today. If you like this content, I would love if you join my group. It's called Educated and Empowered Truth-Seeking Mamas. I talk about perinatal mental health. I talk about informed choice when it comes to vaccines. I talk about sleep training. I talk about all these things to help moms navigate this crazy, crazy world of motherhood that can be very overwhelming at times. So if you like that, I'd love to have you in my group. And that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.